Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 2, and this is what's known in the trade as getting away with one. My God, we dodged a bullet today. How we got a point out of that game, only the football gods know. More clangers from the manager, poor performances from the team, a slight improvement in the overall performance, but still way below the level needed. So let's get into the talking points of the game and see how we pulled off the miracle of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, as I'm sure you can see from my numbers, it's tough being a Spud. He's a very, very new channel, and we've only a limited amount of views. Let's put it that way. But those of you who have watched my previous videos will know that I've been banging on about Ange's insistence on playing out from the back. Every team in the Premier League knows how we're going to play. Every team in Europe knows how we're going to play. Even from goal kicks, wherever, any scenario, we're going to tap the ball around at the back, try and knock it out wide and build the attack from there. The problem is, everyone knows how to defend against it now. Everyone knows how to press it. And game after game after game, including today, we get caught on the ball at the back, gifting the opposition opportunities, and we get caught out and punished for it. Why Ange can't see that this isn't working, I do not know. Well, I kind of do know, is that basically the geezer hasn't got a clue. But why he won't change it when the evidence is there in front of his eyes game after game is an absolute mystery to me. Although I love Vicario, and he's definitely our first choice keeper, the best goalkeeper at the club, honestly, this guy's insistence on playing out from the back, regardless of the situation, is really starting to cost us. Time after time, whether it's an open play or whether it's a goal kick, Vicario plays a short pass into either one of the centre-halves or one of the full-backs, puts them in danger because the other team know how to press against it, puts us under instant pressure and gifts opportunities to the opposition. Twice within the first 5 minutes, Vicario, short ball into Romero too slow on the ball, tries to play a stupid pass, bang, Bournemouth are in. And to be honest, they should have been 2-0 up within 4 minutes. Now, in this situation, it's easy just to criticise the player and say, oh, the passing isn't good enough or he's not picking the right option or whatever. But this comes from the manager. This comes from the manager. The manager gives him explicit instructions not to play long. And this is where my criticism of the player does come in, because any player worth his salt with a bit about him, after it wasn't working 2, 3, 4, 10 times, would just say to themselves, you know what? Fuck the manager. I'm going long. I'm not putting this under pressure anymore. I know he wants me to play. I'm the goalkeeper. I'm not going to get substituted. Kick the fucking ball long. Play off the second balls. Honestly, it's getting so comical, they might as well play the Benny Hill music over the stadium speakers when we're trying to play out from the back. And what was really, really telling, in the 69th minute, Vicario gets a pass back from the centre-half, kicks it long, and the crowd give a sarcastic cheer. Everyone can see it. Everyone in the stadium. Everyone watching on TV. It's an absolute joke, and it has to stop. Now, when the team sheet came out earlier, I saw a midfield of Bissouma, Bentancur, Pape Sarr, right? Bissouma, no doubt, is our best defensive midfielder. There's no doubt about it. He's not the best defensive midfielder in the world or in the league, but he's the best one at the club. Bentancur is much more comfortable closer to goal, playing in a more advanced midfield role, and Pape Sarr is just, well, Pape Sarr. I mean, Pape Sarr, he is the player that's got a career at Watford written all over him, hasn't he? I mean, what is he? I know he scored a goal today, but he meant to cross the ball, didn't he? Let's face it. When the game started, you could clearly see that Bissouma was playing as the holding midfielder, and that is good news. You know, those that have seen previous videos again would have seen me mention this time and time again. The midfield balance with Bentancur playing there just isn't right. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's a good player, but he's not comfortable in that position. He takes too long on the ball. He doesn't have the legs to cover the ground defensively. He's more suited to an advanced midfield role. So when I saw the team line up with Bissouma sitting, Bentancur a bit further forward, and Pape Sarr just, you know, floating around doing his Pape Sarr thing, I thought, you know what? This looks all right. I think we you know, Bournemouth are the better team, but the midfield balance is actually okay today. So let's see how we get on. Now, you know, you could turn around and say that Bissouma made a crucial mistake in the first 5 minutes when Romero played a ball into him. He had a player at his back and he sort of came short for it to try and play out from the back. But to be honest, Romero should never have picked that pass. You know, the guy was literally on Bissouma's shoulder, so I'm not blaming Bissouma for that. And actually, throughout the first half, you could see, because he's defensively minded, and that is the role that he knows, relative to Bentancur, who often in that position will get the ball, take a touch, look around him, look for the kind of creative pass, because he's more of a creative midfielder. Bissouma knows his role, so he wins the ball, he looks up and he hits the first available pass. Now, for the first 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes of the first half, it worked pretty well. Also his positional sense. He knows where to show in the right areas to receive the ball. He knows which areas to protect when the other team's on the attack. He's just a more natural defensive midfielder. And like I mentioned, not the best one in the world, but certainly the best one in the club. And probably the best guy that can provide a platform for the rest of the team to play from. But then in the 40th minute, this is Basuma in a nutshell, basically. He played pretty well in the first half. He'd done his job fairly well. I thought he was looking good. He was looking confident. And then a ball gets played into him in the centre of the park. He takes an awful first touch facing his own goal. And he was very, very lucky to be bailed out of trouble by the defenders. Now, that's the problem. That's Basuma in a nutshell. He is prone to lapses in concentration. But, again, he's still the best defensive midfielder at the club. He should still start against AZ on Thursday in that position. Now, when the teams came out for the second half, Bergfall had come on for Basuma. A little bit inexplicable to me because I thought Basuma had generally had a decent first half. And Son came on for Brennan Johnson, which means that Odebear, who is a left winger, returning from injury, clearly not fit, clearly not sharp, got moved to a completely alien position on the right-hand side. Listen, Brennan Johnson didn't have a great first half. He's not a great player, is he? Let's face it. But he does provide a goal for it. That is his natural position. He knows how to play the role, well, to the best of his ability. And, for me, Ange has got a bad case of the Gareth Southgate, sticking square pegs in round holes. Take off Odebear, like-for-like substitution, improve the threat over on the left by bringing on Son, keep Brennan Johnson on the right. You've got more chance of Son delivering across to the back post and Johnson tapping it in rather than Odebear arriving there and tapping it in. It's not his game. He's a fancy sort of dribbler. I think he's got good potential, but he's not a right winger. Square peg in a round hole. And Bergfall sitting at the base of the midfield. And basically, Bournemouth dominated the second half. They dominated it from start to finish, really. We had a few nice little passages of play. Obviously, we got the lucky goal with Papsar, who went to cross the ball and it went into the far corner. We got a lucky penalty when Kepa got absolutely schoolboyed by Son. It's one of them where he burst into the area and he's like, right, I've taken a really heavy touch here. I'm just going to dangle my leg out and hope this fucking moron clips me. And Kepa obliged, So, like I say, the scoreline masks quite a poor performance, really. I thought in the first half we were fairly decent. Not great, but a massive improvement on Thursday night anyway. The balance of the team was a bit better. And I have to say that overall, every week and every game that goes by now is proving to me that Postecoglou needs to be replaced in the summer. He's just not up to the job. He don't know what he's doing. Honestly, I don't know what he sees out on that pitch, but the whole stadium can see that he's making mistakes all over the place. And, if we do get past AZ on Thursday, which we possibly could, they're not a great team, are they? So it's not like bringing Real Madrid back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and beating them after we've lost 1-0 or, a decent team. It's AZ Alkmaar. So even if we do get through, don't let it cloud anybody's judgment. The board needs to be looking at Ange's replacement now. There's no point in sacking him now. Just let him go to the end of the season. We'll probably get knocked out on Thursday anyway, to be fair. Then the season's basically over. Just let him run to the end of the season. Just let him know he's going to be replaced and start looking already. And it would be nice to have the Bournemouth manager in our dugout next season, wouldn't it? I doubt it will happen because they'll probably be, if not in the Champions League, then definitely in the Europa League with a really good squad of players and a great manager. But he's a real manager. Postecoglou's not up to the job. He had built up a lot of credit for me when he first come into the club. Attacking style of play. Early results were good, but literally from about the 12th or 13th game of last season, we've been dreadful, haven't we? We've been absolutely shit. So time for him to go. Now, in terms of any positives coming out of the game, it was great to see Mickey van der Ven back. He's a big player for us. Looked a bit rusty, but straight away you could see that he's just a more commanding centre half. The crowd went absolutely crazy when he came on, and I don't blame him because we've really missed that guy. We're going to need him against AZ on Thursday, big time. And also great to see Dom Solanke play the full match because after he came off injured against AZ on Thursday, it looked like a nasty injury, that one. I thought he'd had the solid knee into the back. But it looked like he sort of got it into the glute rather than the actual lower back. Probably just a bit of bruising around the muscle. He played fairly well. He makes such a difference when he's leading the line. He's a proper front man, not like Mattis Tell, the absolute fraud. So, yeah, we're going to need those two for Thursday. They're big players for us. And if we've got them both in the team, we've got half a chance. And the final thing I want to mention is Pedro Porro. My God, what has happened to this guy? You know, again, this is another case to get rid of Ange. You know, what player has he actually improved? Which player has improved since Ange has been at the club? The only one I can think of is probably Jed Spence. But that's probably more of Jed Spence's own making, you know, just improving his attitude and getting himself in proper shape to play Premier League football. The rest of the players, I mean, he's turned Son into Anthony. You know, he's turned Pedro Porro into, I don't know, name a shit right back. He hasn't improved any players. Maddison hasn't got any better. Brennan Johnson hasn't got any better. Solanke isn't any better from when he came in at the start of the season to now. Romero's got worse. The goalkeeper's got worse. Udogie's got worse. It's, you know, it's really, really bad. But Pedro Porro today was abysmal. He just constantly lost the ball, constantly making the wrong decisions. His confidence is obviously through the floor because he's not a bad player. He's not a great player, is he? He's not a bad player. And I think for the game on Thursday, Jed Spence must start a right back. You know, Udogie's looked absolutely woeful as well since he came back from injury. But I think with how bad Porro was today, stick Spence at right back. You can kind of rely on him there. Stick Udogie left back. At least he offers a bit of physicality, a bit of threat. Probably slightly better defensively than Porro as well. So, yeah, Porro's got to be second choice from now on. So that's the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you on Thursday. Come on, you Spurs.